morning. The news on Wake Up Nigeria. I'm Mike Mesikeno. President Bola Tinubu on the 14th of November approved the appointment of Daniel Buwala, the former spokesman of PDP presidential candidate Atiku Bagudu, as the special advisor on media and public communications, and 3 others as director generals of various agencies. The special advisor on public communications and media is a lawyer and notable public affairs analyst. Mr. Olawale Olokpade is the new Director General, National Sports Commission. Others are Dr. Abisoye Fagade, the Director General, National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism, and Dr. Adebowale Adedokun, the Director General, Bureau of Public Procurement. The President enjoins the newly appointed officers to discharge their duties with dedication, patriotism, and excellence.
2025 budget with a 47.9 trillion naira proposed expenditure. But first, the Federal Executive Council approved the 2025 to 2027 midterm expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. There will be 9.22 trillion naira of new borrowing to finance the deficit, as the oil benchmark has been pegged at $75 per barrel, while crude oil production is estimated at 2.06 million barrels per day, with an exchange rate of 1,400 naira to the dollar. The framework presented by the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning projects a GDP growth rate of 4.6% in 2025.
It is expected that for 2025, the federal government's budget estimate is the aggregate expenditure is estimated at 47 trillion, and this includes a borrowing of 13.8 trillion, which is 3.87% of the estimated GDP.
There's also a borrowing plan that would need
the federal government plans to spend 47.9 trillion naira as budget for 2025. This was disclosed by the Minister of Budget and National Planning at the end of this week's Federal Executive Council meeting chaired by the President. State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
The administration is getting set to submit its 2025 budget with a 47.9 trillion naira proposed expenditure. But first, the Federal Executive Council approved the 2025 to 2027 midterm expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. There will be 9.22 trillion naira of new borrowing to finance the deficit, as the
All right, you'd seen that report earlier. Now, the sitting chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Senator Dick Durbin, has asked the House Ethics Committee to preserve and share their report on Congressman Matt Gaetz. Now, this is in the U.S., where Donald Trump nominated a Florida lawmaker as his attorney general, an announcement that's been greeted with some shock in Washington. Mr. Gaetz' appointment arrived like a thunderclap in Washington, D.C. Marco Rubio will be his Secretary of State, while Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democrat, is chosen as Director of National Intelligence. Meanwhile, the Republicans are projected to win the House of Representatives following last week's elections, meaning Mr. Trump's party will run the White House and all of Congress.